In the Legend of Zelda series, there is one character that actually shows up more than Ganon. It's Tingle. He is an odd character of the age 35. Tingle does not want to grow up. He wants to be a forest fairy and dresses in green similarly to the forest children, which Link is dressed like. Link grew up with the forest children in the game Ocarina of Time, so he has been referred to as a forest fairy, just like the other forest children. Tingle is a cartographer by trade, and flies around in his balloon observing the geography of the land, making maps. In the Legend of Zelda game, Phantom Hourglass, you can mark your map with a stylus, but no matter how great of an artist you are, it seems that your markings always look like a child scribbled them, and your writing is always terrible, no matter how hard you try. The lines are just too thick and blocky. Link is not actually a forest fairy as Tingle states. He was raised with the forest children, but is actually Hylian. Although Link is not a fairy, he has been referenced as seeming feminine at times. Even one of the creators said that they purposely made Link in Breath of the Wild androgynous, having a combination of feminine and masculine characteristics. In Breath of the Wild, Link even has to garb himself in Gerudo women's clothes to pass as a female, since no males are ever allowed in the all-women town, and he does fool the women. In fact, the most common mistake that non-Zelda fans make is calling Link by the girl's name Zelda. Although all of this is true, Link is still very much a male, and it's obvious when you see him in Breath of the Wild. Link's underwear is a feature we see for the first time in Breath of the Wild. In the original classic cartoon design of Link, he looks to be only wearing a tunic with no pants, which seems kind of odd for medieval fantasy hero. Breath of the Wild confirms that he actually doesn't wear any pants under his tunic when he sports the classic Link outfit. But he does have a cool 8-bit Octorok from the original Legend of Zelda game on his classic Link outfit underwear. An Octorok is a monster that shows up throughout the Zelda series. In Breath of the Wild, the Octorok monsters hide in the ground and can have a bush on their head that moves a bit differently than the other bushes. When Link is in the forest and hears the bushes move, he is wary. You think it might be any other bush, and suddenly an Octorok jumps out of the ground and can ambush Link with a projectile dirt clod or rock. If Link kills an Octorok in Breath of the Wild, it leaves behind a few of its body parts, and sometimes a few fish. Hold on. Where did that fish come from? Was that in its belly? And now Link is going to eat that fish? Gross. One of the body parts an Octorok leaves behind is an item that becomes quite useful to Link, an Octoballoon. These pink balloons help Link lift objects that are too heavy for Link to move. One of these specific objects are large stone slabs. Just blow up an Octoballoon, attach it, and no matter how heavy, it floats up with ease. Wait, how does it rise with no hot air? Oh well, another game detail we Zelda fans just accept. Killing Octoroks is not the only way you can get useful items in the Zelda games. Oftentimes, Link finds chests. These chests contain an array of useful items, from valuable rupees to magical items. Usually chests contain items that can get you out of almost any bind. In a lot of the Zelda games, you hear a specific musical jingle for a chest opening. It's a dramatic moment filled with suspense as we anticipate the prize. One common place to find chests is in a hole in the ground. In Ocarina of Time, there are lots of holes Link falls into, discovering monsters and treasures. When he is ready to leave the pit, he simply just steps into the light and magically rises back to the surface again. Although Link can always find his way out of those holes, he has traditionally found it hard to find his way out of the Lost Woods. The Lost Woods have been in the Zelda games since the beginning, and if you don't navigate Link correctly, you will keep coming back to the same place. It's worse than going in circles. It's just the same screen over and over. Not only that, but the Lost Woods have a host of characters you might not want to run into, like Skull Kids. Skull Kids are mischievous and can cause Link a lot of trouble. One Skull Kid, in fact, ambushes Link with the help of his fairy friends and steals Link's ocarina. This event sets in motion a whole game in the Legend of Zelda series called Majora's Mask.